Hey, so we all know Chris Brown beat Rihanna, right? But have you ever actually heard the case? Here it is. So just for reference, the word Robin, that's Rihanna because that's her name in this case. A verbal argument ensued and Brown pulled over the vehicle into an unknown street. He reached over to Robin with his right hand and opened the car door and attempted to force her out. He was unable to force her out because she was wearing a seatbelt. When he couldn't force her to exit, he took his right head and shoved her window against the passenger window, causing an approximate 1-inch circular contusion. She turned to face Brown and he punched her in the left eye with his right hand. He drove away with the vehicle and continued to punch her in the face with his right hand while steering the vehicle with his left. The assault caused her mouth to fill with blood and it to fill the interior of the car. He looked at Robin and said, "I'm going to beat the shit out of you when we get home. You wait and see." She picked up her phone and called her assistant. She didn't answer, but while the voicemail was playing, she pretended to talk to her and said, "I'm on my way home. Make sure the cops are there when I get there." After she faked the call, Brown looked at her and stated, "You just did the stupidest thing ever. Now I'm really going to kill you." He resumed punching her and she interlocked her fingers behind her head and brought her elbows forward to protect her face. She bent over at the waist, placing her elbows and face near her lap in an attempt to protect her face and head from the barrage of punches being levied by Brown. He continued to punch Robin on her left arm and hands, causing her to suffer a contusion on her left tricep. She attempted to send another text to her personal assistant, but it failed. He snatched the phone out of her hand and threw it out of the window to an unknown street. He continued driving, and Robin observed his cell phone in his lap. She picked up the phone with her left hand, and before she could make a call, he placed her in a headlock with his right hand and continued to drive with the vehicle. Brown held her close to him and bit her on the left ear. She was able to feel the vehicle swerving from left to right as he sped away. He stopped the vehicle in front of an address, and she turned off the car, removed it, and sat on the keys. He didn't know what she did with the key and began punching her in the face and the arms. He began to apply pressure to her left and right carotid arteries, causing her to be able to lose breath and consciousness. She reached up with her left hand and attempting to gouge his eyes to flee, but he bit her left ring and middle fingers and released her. While he continued to punch her, she turned around to place her back against the passenger door. She brought her knees to her chest and placed her feet against him, pushing him away. He continued to punch on her legs and feet, causing several contusions. She began to scream for help, and Brown exited the vehicle and walked away. A resident of the neighborhood heard her pleas for help and called 911. How the fuck is this guy still famous?